In this session, you will learn how to optimize your Amazon product listing for Rufus AI to boost visibility and increase product recommendations. And in this session, I will have two great Amazon experts, John Tilley from Zonguru and Kamal Singh from AMZ One Step. I will bring them very, very shortly. Before that, I want to mention that this session is sponsored by 5 great companies. The first one is Hero Fulfillment. They specialize in stress-free fulfillment and warehousing in Europe. True Ops is providing affordable and comprehensive Amazon reimbursement services. AMZ One Step, Kamal is representing this company and he will speak shortly. Their company is an Amazon creatives agency that helps brands to grow by creating product photos, videos, and content. And VAA Philippines provides expert virtual assistant services for e-commerce sellers. And last but not least, Adspert is an AI-powered Amazon ads optimization tool. So thanks to all these sponsors for helping to run this show. And I want to bring both of the speakers to the screen. Hi, Kamal. Hi, John.
What's happening? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's always nice to have webinars with you both. And this time we do it together. You are doing it together. And we'll talk about Rufus AI. John will start first, then Kamal will join. And at the end, we'll have a section for Q&A. So everyone who is watching, if you have questions during the presentation, you can type them in the live chat. If you're watching the replay, type them in the comment section below and we will ask our experts to answer them. And as always, if you enjoy what we create, don't forget to click like and subscribe buttons below this video. And now before we jump to the presentations, I wanted to ask first Kamal to introduce yourself and tell us how you help Amazon sellers.
All right, so super excited to be here once again on Seller Fest Augustus. So my name is Kamal. I'm the CEO and founder of AMZ One Step. What we do is we help e-commerce Amazon brands, create great creatives, listing pictures, videos, A+ content, 3D rendering, anything which is related to your Amazon listings has created in it. We can help you out with that. So we've been doing this for over almost 8 years now. Have a team of over 100 people and really really love what we're doing out here. And once again, thanks for having me because that's super excited to share what we have going on today.
It's amazing to have you here. And John, Zonguru, what do you do?
Yeah, thanks for having me. And I'm always excited to talk to the Orange Klik community because you guys are awesome. So I'm over here in Los Angeles, and Zonguru is really an operational tool set to help you scale on Amazon. We have over 18 different tools, but we really focus on how to help you with your organic growth and organic sales. And our flagship products are around keyword intelligence and listing optimization for content. We had a lot of firsts in the space there. The first to launch ChatGPT as an integration in the Amazon space and the first to provide a Rufus optimization score as part of our tool. So we're going to dive into that and cover that in a few minutes. But yeah, that's us. And then we also, in terms of the types of customers that use our product, we have sellers, like everyone is seeing here, as well as agencies. That's one of our fastest growing segments, are agencies that are using our tech to help brands grow. And then we also, as part of our offering for larger brands, we do offer a service piece as well, where we can really help you with your organic rank and growth using our technology, but layer on a services aspect as well. So we can actually do it for you as a done for you service. So that's Zonguru in a nutshell.
Yeah, cool. So big thumbs up to both companies, AMZ One Step for sponsoring this event and being a long-term partner, Zonguru as well. And Zonguru, indeed, I wanted to mention that you're always ahead of other software companies by introducing something special. I remember in the past it was Alibaba integration. I think you were one of the first. Then now you are always one step ahead with AI. And today we will talk about AI, about Rufus AI. Yeah. And I think, John, you will start, right? And then Kamal will join you. So we're ready if you are ready with your slides.
In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to go over specifically Rufus optimization, really with the eye of like, how do you actually crush it over this next Q4 and help yourself with organic rank. And then if we have time, I have about another 3 quick tactics that I can share with you outside of just Rufus optimization. And that's what we're going to cover today. So, you know, I want to talk a little bit about Rufus for a minute. And, you know, with the Amazon seller group, there's always, you know, people who see the silver lining, and there's always in our Amazon seller group, the naysayers. And I think a lot of people, you know, when Rufus was launched, the Amazon shopping assistant, they came back and were saying, oh, it's a terrible experience. Like if you use it, it's not great. How would customers actually use that? And the note that I have for everyone here is the game has changed, right? We see today in terms of how people search for content on the internet, they're using ChatGPT, they're asking questions, and they're looking for some kind of assistant to engage with them. And so that's a common practice nowadays, and that common practice is going to happen on Amazon. It is happening, and Rufus is going to get better and better. So Rufus is here to stay. You need to understand how to optimize for it, and the experience of using Rufus is going to get better and better. So what I want to cover today is essentially some ideas of like, how do you actually optimize for Rufus? And you know, we've progressed our tools in terms of, and thinking in terms of just being mobile first, but now to AI first. So everything that we're doing, we're trying to understand how are customers engaging with AI, shopping assistant, and more importantly, how is Rufus actually starting to read your content and optimize for that, right? So that's how we think about things when we optimize for Amazon. This is just an example of it. I'm going to skip that for right now because I think everyone here has seen, you know, how to use the shopping assistants, I'm sure, as sellers. I've got some screenshots later, so you'll see exactly how you know, how it actually works. But in a nutshell, you know, you can ask questions from, hey, I'm going camping, what kind of equipment should I be taking camping, and we'll give you some recommendations, through to being much more specific. Hey, you know, I've got a specific need. What are the criteria that I should be looking for in that product? Tell me what I should be looking out for. Or I have a specific need, a little bit more abstract, like, hey, I need something to help me sleep better at night. What are the recommendations? And it will come back with recommendations, right? So those are the types of use cases. It's much more different to the typical search that we do, which is, hey, I'm looking for a product. I type in a keyword and I get a bunch of search results. The other really important part of Rufus, which I think is critical, is you can engage with Rufus and go back and forth and ask questions. And all of that will be happening multiple times without you actually even landing on a search results page. And Rufus can actually come up with the recommendations and give you a couple of links to products without you actually going to a search results page. So it is a very a big change in terms of the search experience, where you're not looking for you're not being impactful on scanning and looking for products. You're actually relying on Rufus to come back with recommendations. That's a critical step. So you have to know how to optimize for Rufus. I think in terms of a strategy, the high level aspect of Rufus is that you're trying to understand and unveil. I guess the point I'm trying to make here is it's still critical to optimize for keywords, right? And understand all the different keywords that customers use to search for your type of product. And hands down, you still need to make sure that you're covering that in your content and in terms of your optimization. But when you think about Rufus, I think it's trying to understand beyond that, what is the layer of understanding search intent and benefits and all the various different types of use cases that your product might be suitable for. And the best way I can explain that is unexpected buyer journey pathways. So when customers are searching and they might not be looking for a specific product, but now they're starting to engage with Rufus around like, hey, I have this specific need or search intent, or I'm looking for something. How do you return your product for some of those unexpected buyer journeys and almost get products in front of customers before they're actually thinking about your product? And if you can, understand how to prompt Rufus to get those returns and see what it's looking for, and then put that into your listing, your content in your listing becomes the ultimate prompt for AI, both in your keywords, but also your content there and what Rufus is looking for, right? And I think that's the way to think about how to optimize for Rufus. Now, in terms of implementation, clearly you can use ZonGuru and it's going to do all of this work itself. But in terms of implementation, what you're trying to do is understand all the various ideas of intent, right? And then optimize your listing. So you can go in, you can type in various questions around your product in Rufus and get answers back and understand what Rufus is looking for or recommending, and then put that into your content. So that's a manual way to do it. You can certainly prompt ChatGPT as well, and there's a big overlap between the types of answers you get from ChatGPT and what you get from Rufus. So you can ask various questions around search intent and use cases for your product and get answers back, and then make sure your content covers that. So those are manual ways to do it. And clearly, we're going to get into how you can use Zonguru to do that as well. The way I want to show you an example here, and I think this might be really useful for you to see. But here's a multiple use case for blackout curtains, right? So in terms of the various, think about the search intent and benefits, right? So you can look at all of these. So if you were prompting Rufus, hey, how do I improve sleep quality? How do I reduce my energy bills? How do I protect my furniture from sunlight? How do I, get privacy from street levels? How do I get better sleep, right? Benefits, block out lights, reduce outside noise. These are the kind of things that you could be asking of Rufus and then expecting some answers back. And you would get answers back like blackout curtains. You might get other answers back as well, like sleep machines, etc. Right? So trying to understand what are the various types of use cases that match for your product. And then as people get more and more familiar with using Rufus and asking questions around what they're trying to solve for, rather than just searching for a product, that's where you can really start to match as a brand, right? So how do we do it? We're going to get into this in a second, but since the release of Rufus, and obviously since the release of AI, we do a lot of prompting and testing for results on the back end. And we go through hundreds and hundreds of types of prompts, and specifically prompting AI and ChatGPT to get specific answers, and then marrying those answers with what Rufus is actually looking for. And we test that constantly in the background, and we've created some strong prompts that match between what ChatGPT returns as well as what Rufus is returning. And when you create a listing, obviously we're prompting for all of those answers and then getting those answers collated and then putting that into your content as a recommendation for your listing. So that's a lot of what we do. But here's an example of specifically prompting Rufus for the key criteria around an Instapot. So saying, hey, what are you shopping for? What are the key criteria I should think about when I'm buying an Instapot? Rufus has come back and said, hey, you should think about capacity. You should think about cooking functions, the multi-functions. You should think about safety features, build quality, and all the various different accessories that you can have. And then you can say, hey, well, what are some recommendations? And we'll come back and we'll say, hey, here's some recommendations, and actually bring that back. Now, how it brings those recommendations back is clearly the content that's in your listing matching what it is recommending. And there are additional pieces, reviews, ratings, and the various internal algorithmic pieces that Amazon is looking for in serving your product. We have a lot of that understanding as well. And that also goes into the recommendations when we create a listing for you using our technology. This is an example of our tool. I'm going to jump in and just show you a live example, but you can see when we're writing a listing with Rufus, this is done in a more fun way of writing it, but we talk about, the multifunction, right? Versatile cooking power, the multifunction of the cooker. We talk about the capacity and the various use cases that you would use it for. We talk about the safety of the product, and then we talk about the accessories. So you can see just in terms of how the content comes back, it's very much matching at a high level to the top recommendations that Rufus is doing. Plus, we've got additional, optimization happening for keywords, for the algorithm, for the A9 algorithm, etc. Right? So it's just important to know that all for the key various criteria that Rufus is looking for, make sure you have some of that content peppered throughout your listing so that it is matching to that when it's being specifically looking for your type of product to recommend. I'll show you a quick demo. Let's jump in and just show you again. You can obviously go in, and if you haven't, if you're not using a tool, go in and prompt Rufus on Amazon with key questions and ensure that for those different use cases, you understand what Rufus is coming back for and include that in your listing. That's a manual way. The other way you can do it is obviously use Zonguru. I'm going to just jump in and cover the type of things that we do in Zonguru to help you with listings. And I think the most important thing to convey to everyone listening here is what we do from a listing creation perspective is write a listing that is best matched for the type of content, the keywords that customers are searching for in the localized market. but also structurally how you should write that listing so that it is every single time you get a sale, you're getting the maximum juice from the algorithm for your ranking. And that's a very hard thing to do technically and still make sense in a listing. And that is done at within a minute on our using our tool to create a listing, right, that is best optimized. And then you can finesse it further, optimize it as you need to. We do bulk, edits so that you can have a bulk listings done at the parent level that just makes it faster for you to make sure that you get the best listing out there. And importantly, we show you how that listing matches to your best sellers on page 1, right? So I'll show you that over a couple of minutes here. This is just a keyword intelligence set that we run in our tool called Keywords on Fire for Instapot. You have over 500 of the most relevant keywords. And I think one of the biggest differences there is that we're not just reverse indexing and putting in competitor keywords that are common. We're actually getting what's out of the localized market. So if you run this in Germany, you're going to get all of the localized colloquial keywords that people actually use to search for a product. And that's one of the biggest differences in our intelligence set, using brand analytics, search query performance data, etc. Here's all the keywords with a bunch of data points. And we have an SEO analysis part. So if you haven't used this part, jump in and use it. But you can see across, all of the different competitors, who has got the best SEO score, who's got the weakest, and importantly on the keyword level, who's ranked well and who isn't ranked well, right? So if this is the example of a keyword that a listing that we want optimized, we can kind of see, where it ranks for all the keywords, where keywords are missing, and how to better optimize it. Yeah, so you can see the various keyword levels. What's interesting is, for example, if that was the product that we want to optimize, I can show you right here. For this product, I think it was this comfy pressure cooker. I can show you all the keywords that it doesn't rank for on page 1 or page 2, right? I can change this. Right now, there's 281 keywords that it actually doesn't index for, on page 1 or at all, right? And these are the keywords that, outside of what it currently ranks for, you want to make sure that you can absolutely rank for. You can do non-branded as well. There's plenty easy ways for you to filter the data, but there's a lot of power in the keywords and filtering the set for the keywords that you want, saving those views and using that in your listing optimization. That will make one of the biggest differences to your optimization, because you're ultimately prompting it for the correct keywords, right? So this is actually the listing optimizer, and I've loaded some of the most important keywords on the left-hand side. And what I've done on the right side, which is really cool about our tool, in a couple of clicks, you can literally search for competitor listings, add competitor listings, or add your own listing. And the point of adding competitor listings, I would add the top competitors. You can see what the optimization score is, right? And you can see, this is the Comfy product right here. These are some of the top competitors, and you can see they scored 12,000. This one scores 12,900. We're pulling in all the content, title, bullets, description, and backend search terms. And we're looking at a score of the total listing. And you can see the Comfy score. It doesn't matter what the score is, but just know that it's less. So it's less optimized than the top sellers on page 1. I've gone ahead and created a listing with AI, right? And you can see, the score here is 20,000. So it is stronger than any of the top competitors on page 1. And that as a baseline gives you much better potential to match for the A9 algorithm for Rufus, and in general, just to give you the most visibility and capabilities to convert and juice the algorithm to get better organic rank. There's obviously clearly a lot more detail here in terms of how you can optimize further, looking at keywords, how you can manually update it. But at a high level, it's create a listing in a couple of seconds that will give you the best shot of getting best organic rank and visibility on Amazon. You can go ahead and manually update it. You can see keywords that are missing, and then you can publish it to Amazon directly through the platform. And obviously, as a baseline, you're getting the most visibility. I can show you an example just, with the couple of minutes I have left. I can show you, we can just generate one right now. I can just go AI generate. You can select the keywords you want if you want, but you can use all of them. I just put a brand name, Sellerfest. You can put in a product description. I always recommend that. You can negative match on keywords. You can change the language, market, etc. And then you simply hit generate. And this is literally writing a listing real time, and we'll see what type of score it gets. I'm sure it'll be pretty close. So right now it's writing the descriptions, the search terms, based on all that intelligence we have around keywords, and everything else, Rufus, etc., what it's looking for, and it's going to write a listing right now. And we've got a score of 17,000, so pretty close to the 20,000, certainly higher than any of the other ones. We can see the pots, the quart size, multi-cooker, safety features, everything that we talked about, right? Convenience, all-in-one cooker, all the different functions, the meals, the type of meals, the safety, flavor retention it talks about here, versatility, completeness, and obviously all the various accessories that you get for the product as well, right? So again, you can go in there, you can test it right now, you can jump in and simply use it, live during the free trial and see how you go. But I would certainly, if you haven't, go ahead and test. Most importantly, your current listing, write a new listing, see how it varies, use some of those insights to write into your current listing if you like, and also compare it to your top sellers and make sure you have the best listing on page one from an optimization perspective. And that should give you the best chance of getting the most organic rank and sales on Amazon. I'm not going to, I know because I'm 16 minutes in right now, so I'm not going to spend too much time on any of these other points. I just want to highlight some of the other things that we think about, both in Zonguru that you can connect with us on, that we give to agencies, and also if you use our service side. These are things we think about in terms of helping you with your organic rank. One is, how are you actually priced, not just for your profit that you want to make on Amazon, but more importantly, where are most customers buying? We can actually show you intelligently at what price point are most customers buying, and should you be priced at that, and how do you compare to your main competitors? Do you actually have a better competitive listing than them, which is important for the algorithm? There's a whole report that we put together. We also think about PPC in terms of your conversion rate, and looking at the idea that every sale that comes from PPC has to help boost your organic ranking, and ensuring that your conversion rate on PPC is higher than your organic and category conversion rate. And we have a way of reporting on that we show you. And I know Kamal is going to cover this a lot more, but we also have an internal tool that we use around your image stack, and ensuring that the AI on Amazon has gone beyond just reading code, but actually reading what is actually in your images and understanding from an analysis perspective across all your competitors, what are they focusing on, where's the opportunity, where's the gap, and what is Amazon's algorithm actually looking for in your images, especially in terms of content and copy. I think is critical, and we have a tool that completely analyzes that and then gives you some recommendations around that as well. In terms of connecting with us, we do have various ways that you can connect with us. One is, if you are interested in doing a full organic growth audit and showing you your actual potential sales on Amazon, we can run a growth audit for you. There's a qualification on that. You have to be doing at least $2 million on Amazon in terms of sales currently, and we can run that audit for you and help show you how to scale and grow your organic profitability and sales. And there's a full audit that we do around your ranking, your buy zone, and showing you your true potential. If you're a brand and you just want to get a percentage off through Orange Klik, go ahead and click on zonguru.link OK20. You still get the free trial and you get 20% off. And if you're an agency and you want to connect with us, go ahead to zonguru.link/OK-enterprises, and we can connect with you there and show you our different features that are available for agencies to help scale brands. Typically, agencies that have 20 or more clients, this is a really good fit for us. We can help you grow. I hope that was useful. I know there's a very high level touched on there, but there's, when you get in and use the tools, you'll see the detail, you'll understand the Rufus optimization, you can get insights to put into your listings, and you can certainly connect with our team to help you get some more answers and questions on that as well. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, John, and everyone who is watching. If you have questions about Zonguru tool or Rufus AI algorithms, type them in the comments section below or in the live chat. And now I will bring Kamal to talk about Rufus AI for images. And yeah, let's do it. So thank you, John. See you soon.
All right.
We can see your screen, Kamal. All good.
Let's get started, guys. John, excellent presentation. There were definitely some golden nuggets there. So now we're going to dive deeper into, Rufus AI and how do Rufus AI crawl your images. And in this presentation, it's not going to be super long. I'm going to share with you guys a quick win or a quick hack that you can use instantly right after this presentation. And then we'll also talk about optimizing for AI versus optimizing for conversions. And we'll talk about how AI crawls your listing creatives. What are some of the best practices getting your listing recognized by Rufus AI, and also how to not lower your CVR when optimizing for AI. So, quick hack first. If you want to know whether your images are AI optimized or not, upload them to ChatGPT and ask the ChatGPT to explain it back to them. So, if ChatGPT can read your images and if it can give you the clarity, like, okay, this is exactly what your image is all about, and which is similar to what you want to optimize for, the Rufus AI works very similarly, and it can also read the images in the exact same way. So here's a quick example. So I uploaded an image to ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT, what is this product? And it perfectly accurately, including the brand name, told me like what that product was all about. And I asked the ChatGPT, how did you, know about this? It told me like, the like how it recognized based on design and features visible on the image. So this thing really works. And the previous one, that was a big brand, so I started with the smaller brand as well. It was working perfectly fine. So this is an example of Chat GPT, but Rufus AI is working on a similar technology. So here's another example, like it can also read the text on the image, and also small little details, like it might be on your product packaging or image or labels. The AI can read that. Okay, so let's get started now. And the Rufus AI is mainly a traffic lever. It's not a conversion lever. However, the traffic that you're getting from Rufus AI is very likely to convert, because it's coming from a very trusted resource, which is Amazon itself. So technically, Amazon is recommending your product in the form of AI, like, hey, this is a great product for for what you're looking for. So the conversion will be likely very high, but there's no evidence yet. So optimizing for AI and optimizing for conversions is a little bit different. For example, when you're optimizing for conversions, you only have like first four images, because people's attention span is like really low now. So you only have like four images to optimize for conversion, so that people just take a look at the product images and the and the copy, and can make a decision very quickly. Versus optimizing for AI is more for getting your listing recognized by AI, so that AI recommends them in the chat results. So CTR process is totally different on AI. It's not like like John mentioned, people are not going to search for a keyword, then find which one is a great looking listing and then click on that. Here it's coming from a recommendation point of view. So CTR process is totally different. It does not require like you to rank organically on keywords. If you have a really optimized listing, you will start seeing results like right away. You don't have to wait for ranking to go up. And as of now, the conversion rate is not predictable yet, but in the coming days, we'll have a lot better idea, like how what is the likelihood of your listing being converted, if it's recommended by the AI. So there's three steps to it. First, your listing needs to be recognized by the AI, and the second part is the Rufus needs to recommend your listing to the person who's searching for, and then they click on it. So the step number 2 and 3, you cannot do anything about it. It's mainly done by Amazon and the user. The only thing that you control is how can you make your listing so good that the AI just picks your listing like right up. So in this presentation, we're mainly going to talk about the images only, because John has already covered some good points on the keywords and the copy part of it. So we're only going to focus on the images part. So how do you get your listing recognized? So AI uses something called convolutional neural networks, to recognize patterns in the images. And this helps AI tell, what exactly is in the picture, like, is it a car, dog, cat? So the technology that they use is, it's also known as like CNN, or convolutional neural networks. And what it does, it can extract features from the image, right? So it can, it passes through like different layers of the image, and each layer like detects the features from like simple edges or shapes, or like any complex patterns, and it can drive like from the image, like such as color, shape, pattern, and texture. And from this, AI can really understand what exactly your image is trying to say. But for you as a seller, you don't have to learn all this technical stuff. For you, what really matters is like what kind of images that you should do so that your image stack is optimized. So this is more of a technical stuff. Don't worry about that. So what you need to focus on just the best practices. And what I did like last couple of weeks, I spent a lot of time on Rufus AI. I was trying to find out a pattern among the listings which are being recommended by the AI. So I have a sample size of like almost like 150 listings. And what are some of the things which are like present in all of those 150 listings, at least in the images? Like this is exactly what I saw. And first, your backend details of your listing need to be like filled in like properly. Just go back to your like edit your listing, make sure there's like nothing you're leaving empty which is relevant to your product. This is super important. So I know this is not related to the images, but this was super important. Every listing I saw, it had the attributions like on the top, like near the buy box. So this is one of the key areas. But when it comes to the images, you want to make sure your images are like really high quality images, like high resolution images, at least 1,000 pixels, to ensure the clarity. If your image is a high resolution and it has a clean background, for example, a white background or a neutral color background, and it has a good lighting, the likelihood of AI recognizing your product is very high. And this is the example. If you take a look at this white background picture, really high quality shot, nicely lit, and also it's on white background. So making super easy for AI to like tell exactly what kind of product this is. And next one, make sure you're using multiple angles of your product, so that people can see your product from like different angles as well as AI, and showing product in action. What are the different ways your product can be used in, which is also a great way for optimizing your images for the AI. And most importantly, if you're using Photoshop, make sure your sizing reference is accurate, and it perfectly demonstrate the product size, perhaps with the common objects for scale. Right, when you do it with Photoshop, the likelihood of that messing up is very high, which is not good for AI. And moving forward, when I talked about you know multiple angles or like in use images, if you take a look at this example, the same product, but we're showing a different use case. It was a coffee, and now it's oatmeal. And also the other part, make your images less crowded as possible. Do not overdo in your images. This is one of the patterns that we saw when I looked at like all those 150 listings. Most of their images, they were like very less crowded, right? So the more busy your image is, more difficult it will have for the AI to like fully understand or anticipate what exactly are you trying to convey. And close-up shots are big ones. Most of those listings, they also had close-up shots. For example, if you have in this example, if you have like buttons or a small screen, or some products may have fabric or a certain pattern, showing a close-up also helps your product to be optimized for the AI. And always use lifestyle images in as many relevant settings as possible. You know Even if you're using a model, make sure it's like ideal client persona who's in the model, so that AI can understand like who exactly is buying your product. So like having lifestyle images, they're also very crucial. So most of those listings also had lifestyle images in it. And this is a kicker. So 360 shots, like out of those 150 listings that I saw, almost 40% of those, like they had 360 image, which is not common when you look at the bigger sample size. Not a lot of sellers have like 360 image, which is like you can drag 360. So this is also a common factor. If you have the eligibility to upload 360 image, I would highly recommend that you go and do that, because it just makes your optimization so easy. And these are some common practices. Make sure your branding is consistent. You're adding relevant keywords. You're adding like product labels. To ensure like if there's any text on the product itself, it's clearly visible. And main part about the relevant keywords, on A9 algorithm or the Google search, the Photoshop keywords, they were helping you index on search results. On AI, both things help. The alt text or your Photoshop uh, file name or Photoshop keywords, that also helps. Also, the keywords or the information which is on the image itself, it also help for you to get recommended by the AI. And here's the example. If you look at this image, there's a keyword on the image itself. And I'm not talking about the backend Photoshop keyword. Having that is also a plus point, but now you can have keywords on your product image as well. And the listing, the Rufus AI will read it. And here's another example of showing labels and product packaging so that uh, you, the AI can understand the product information, like whatever uh, is on the packaging, right? So in this case, like this is compatible with like Starbucks and a bunch of other coffee companies. So instead of like writing a text, you might as well add a label, which will help the AI. So avoid these common mistakes. Make sure there's like no watermark, have minimal text if possible, no placeholder images, and the best formats for uploading your images are like JPEG or PNG. uh, and lastly, there's one quick hack. If you want to optimize uh, for AI without lowering your CVR. So if you're optimizing for conversions, your first four images are, design them for conversions, like have your most important information on those images, but the remaining pictures that only like 1 or 2% of people or visitors will see, you can use those images to optimize for AI. For example, you might be thinking, Kamal, you're telling me to use like white background images, but that will hurt my conversions. Which is true, but you can always use like slot 6 or slot 7 of your images to go back and for the white background image. For example, if you want to add keywords to your image, one of those spots could be a good one, right? If you want to add anything which you think which might harm your conversions, uh, 6, 7, 8, 9, those are like really good slots for images, slots for you to optimize for AI. And also like the module number 6 or 7 for A plus content, you can use that to optimize your creatives for AI. So the bottom line is, the more and more the features and things which are coming on Amazon, which will help you in the optimization. So the core is, the fundamentals are, your listing needs to exactly, it needs to be a user friendly, it needs to be talking about the benefits, features, how it will impact the user's life, as opposed to like quick hack winning things. The more and more AI and advancements are coming, the listings are getting more and more connected with the fundamentals and basics which were missing from your listing, right? We always talk about a CTR hack, or we talk about conversion hacks, or those things, they are kind of fading away because the system and the algorithms, they're being designed in such a way that the best listings will get priority, right? For example, when you optimize for SEO, right, or optimize for Chat GPT, there's no quick hack. You just need to be in the business, you just need to be doing the right thing. If you're a great company, you will, the algorithm will help you rank in the SEO. Like our company gets recommended by Chat GPT, and we never optimized for like Chat GPT, right? But the system and the algorithm will pick things up if your listing and product is a powerful, if you have great reviews, if you have great feedback, if you're like pretty much showing everything what possible in a listing which will help the buyer, you will be winning at any algorithm game. So that's all I have. Happy to take any questions you guys may have.
Yes. Thank you very much, Kamal. I will bring John as well. So thank you guys for explaining more about Rufus and what people can do with images and what software they can use to optimize their listings. And we have a few questions.
I just got a comment there, but yeah, Kamal, I think you did a great job there. And I always tell people, hey, AI can read your images and what the content is that is in there, and people are surprised by that. And I think the way that you just actually showed that by just saying, hey, just drop an image in and say, hey, what do you see in that image from ChatGPT? It kind of makes the penny drop for everyone that, literally the image and the content that you put in the images can be read by AI. And that's obviously critical in terms of, not only is the AI looking for content in your listing to optimize for, but it's looking for it in your images, right? So you have to optimize your images for people, for customers, but obviously for the AI, which is critical. So that whole idea of AI first in terms of optimization is a way to think about this business, right? So super cool. Yeah, thanks, man.
And I would not be surprised if many Amazon sellers don't even think about this. Like maybe they don't even understand what this is Rufus or AI. Maybe we are all using AI every day, but I think a lot of people are still like behind and they don't understand the power. But before we go to the questions, I wanted to mention that this session is part of the Seller Fest Online, sponsored by 5 companies, and one of them is AMZ One Step. Kamal is representing this company. If you want to get good photos, good videos, anything creative, reach out to him and his team. And together with 20 plus speakers, which we invited for this virtual summit, we also created a package of VP package of additional 20 plus videos, which we are offering as a purchase if you would like to get access to extra content. These videos are all additional content. We are not publishing them online or publicly on YouTube. They are accessible only in the private membership area, which looks like this. And once you purchase, you get access to all these videos. And I wanted to ask Kamal to share what he was teaching in his video. And I see here his video. So Kamal, what did you share in the VP session?
I think it's a really important video. It's not a long video. It's like less than 4 minutes. If you go and watch that, it will walk you through with the exact process of how you can continuously increase your CTR and CVR using the real feedback. A lot of sellers, they kind of think about like images and the listings, kind of set it and forget it. But there's like a process that you need to follow every single quarter or every single month to make sure you're always breaking the barrier. Most of the sellers, when they come to us, they're like, hey, my listing is converting at 5% and I want to go to 10%. And they think there's only one like magic wand or like one time task, which will get them to 10%. That's not the case. You're at 5%, you take some steps which will take you to the 6%, then you do some more optimization which will take you to like 7%, 7.58. It's a journey from getting from 5% to 10%. And I've broken that down into like, step 1 is fixing your CTR, step 2 is like fixing your CVR, and how exactly you can do that through the data driven and like, split testing and experiments kind of thing. That's exactly what you will see in this VIP session. It's not super advanced, but it will still kind of give you like a step-by-step roadmap to how you can get your listing to the desired conversion rates.
Great, thank you very much. And John, what was your session about? It's another 8 minutes of the content.
Yeah, I kind of touched on this earlier, but what I break down in this specific video is thinking about your price of your product, but not for profitability, but how you should be priced to maximize the what we call the total applicable market on Amazon, where most customers are actually, what price point are they mostly buying at, identifying what that price point is, and then specifically understanding how competitive are you at that price point. So we look at, and I share with you an actual Excel sheet that you can download, and you can simply upload your various competitors, and we'll show you how does the algorithm actually look at the competitors? Where are they stronger or weaker than you? So how do you compete at that price point? Because at the end of the day, Amazon is going to serve you algorithmically more to customers if they feel that your product has a higher quality product at that specific price point, right? So it's a different way of looking at your pricing, and it's been very valuable for our clients. Not just thinking about, hey, what should I price my product at to make the most profit, but where are most customers buying? It also might give you an indication of a different type of variation that you might want to come up with your product to compete at a different price point as well. So it's a pretty interesting way to look at pricing, and definitely worth a watch.
Cool. Thank you very much. So the link is below in the description. So join the VP sessions over there. And now let's go to the questions we got from the audience. So let's see. Let's first hide this banner. Okay, so the first question is from Leszek. He's asking about Zone Tools, Zone Guru. What languages does the AI listing builder optimizer support?
So for all the different localized languages that we support in terms of marketplaces. So when you're in that marketplace, so if you're in Amazon Mexico, it's going to write in Spanish specifically for the Mexican marketplace. If you're in Amazon Spain, it's going to write Spanish in the localized way that it's written in Spain, right? So basically, whenever you open up Keyword Intelligence or Listing Optimizer, you get to select your marketplace. So that can be anything from North America, Europe, India, and Australia, New Zealand, etc. So if you open it up, it's going to find the keywords localized to that marketplace, and then you have the ability to write in that specific language.
And also the same person is asking about Rufus. So does the tool, a Zone Guru tool, read, understand the images and suggest the changes based on Rufus recommendations?
So it's a good question. And the answer is, we, as part of the algorithm that we've created and the prompts for the content, we look at keywords, we look at Rufus, and we do some image analysis and then put that into the prompting for the content. We don't give you specific prompts that you should put in your images yet. We have an internal tool that I briefly showed that we use on the services side, where we have a full listing analysis image tool that basically analyzes all images in the niche and looks for common themes, what's missing, what Rufus is looking for, and then comes up with an image recommendation and the content that should go into that image, which is Kamal was talking about, which is critical, right? So we have that internally. If you use our services products, you get access to that, but there will be a launch probably in Q1 for the image tool.
Thank you. So Kamal, we have a question for you about the images. What about background image, for example, for apple flavor to show the product on the pile of apples? How would Rufus understand? What do you think?
I think as a best practice, always, like I mentioned, let me get to the depth of where you come in from. So you're using the pile of apples behind the product, so that you win at the CTR game, right? So your main image looks different from the search results. So that's why you're using those apples to get the winning effect. What I would say, still do what you're doing right now and have just the product shot only, like the white background, in the slot number like 7 or 8 of the main image. So that way you're winning at both. So that's what I would do as of now. Again, upload this image and put it on the chat GPT and ask, chat GPT, like, hey, what do you think of this image? And it will tell you like what AI, or at least chat GPT, I'm not exactly sure how different Rufus and chat GPT backend algorithms are, but I do understand that they're very similar. Ask chat GPT, it will tell you what is that software thinking of those pile of apples behind the product. But if you're doing it for CTR, continue to do exactly what you're doing.
He said the product is on the apple pile of apples, but probably doesn't matter if it's in the background or under the product.
Yeah, he's probably talking about a lot of the main images. You'd have a shot of a pile of apples on the side or next to it. So yeah, I think Kamal's saying the right thing. But I wanted to comment there. Yeah, I can confirm we see in terms of the results from ChatGPT and Rufus, they're very similar. So, if you go ahead and ask a question of ChatGPT, you can be rest assured that the result is pretty similar to what Rufus is looking for. So it's a great way to test and see exactly what it says, right?
Yeah, perfect.
And another question about images. Let me pull it here. Well, it's more general. Like, what are people doing to get entry level, to get all those AI compatible, crawlable, rankable, convertible photos, videos, 360 animations? Any recommendations? I think Kamal's company can do all this, right?
Yeah, you can just contact us, info@amz1step.com, or just visit website, and we would love to create AI compatible all sort of images for you. But right now, to be very frank, what we're doing right now for AI optimization, we're using like 7, 8, 9 image slot so that your listing conversion does not get affected. So that's exactly what we're doing. You can do it on your or you can do it through Canva if you're optimizing for AI, or if you need like anything else like related to the creatives. Here's the website that you see on your screen. Would love to help.
And of course, the website is
Yeah,
also linked.
I want to just make a comment there, and we've seen this theme throughout the years, right? And I don't know if this is what this person is referring to, but saying entry level, like what's the cheapest way that I can do this? And I would just say I always caution people there that we're investing so much of our time into having a successful product on Amazon, and you invest your time into manufacturing, all of these different processes. You spend so much money up front, and then people tend to try and be cheap on the content that goes into listing, and that's actually where you need to double down and really create the most amazing images and everything. Because as Kamal said, that extra 1, 2, 3% click-through rate or conversion rate can massively change your business in unbelievable ways. So don't be shy to invest in your images and content, because it will absolutely be critical to the launch of your product, and it will make a huge difference. So if you're thinking about not putting budget towards that, you're making a mistake.
Yeah, I think it's very common among Amazon sellers. They see their listing creatives kind of like a shipping price, like, hey, I want like the shipping price to be as low as possible, and they see their creatives like that way as well. But the power of having really high converting images, or continuous improvements, think about your PPC budget once. Like, how much are you going to spend in 1 year, and how much impact it can make when you connect your creatives with the PPC budget. It perfectly makes sense that you don't want to cheap out on that. And a lot of our time just goes into like changing the belief systems of Amazon sellers, like why this is an investment, not a cost. So perfectly said, John. Yeah, makes sense.
Great. And question, more technical, can you add alt text for main images?
Not the alt text, but you can have the Photoshop keywords. You can add alt text on the Photoshop file, but if you're talking about through the Seller Central, I don't think so. There's an option to add alt keyword on the main image, but you can do it through the Photoshop file, if that makes sense.
How is Photoshop file related to the main image? You mean PSD file?
Like the PSD file, right? Like the back when so you export a file from Photoshop in the format of like JPEG or like
Yeah.
PNG, right? But when you're actually editing the picture, or maybe you're doing a retouching or some whatever, I think I did this video in the previous VIPs session for the Seller Fest, where I talked about like how exactly you can add alt text to your Photoshop file. How to name the Photoshop file, how to put alt text in the Photoshop file. What are the settings that you need to enable or disable within the Photoshop for Google and Amazon to to pick up those keywords. I think that video is the previous one of those previous sessions I did for Orange Clicks. Yeah, so to answer your question, yes, you can, but through the Photoshop, but not on the Seller Central alt text like you can do it on the A+ content.
what you are saying that when you export from Photoshop into JPEG, it will carry out this metadata in the background in the digital
Exactly.
information of the file. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And one more question from chat. Hey guys, thanks for sharing. I think Kamal briefly touched on this, but is there anything special we should do with our Amazon listing and our website to help ChatGPT recommend our products? So he's talking about ChatGPT or maybe Rufus. Maybe it's more relevant to talk about Rufus.
Yeah.
So what can we
Maybe I would
do
love to
on
get
that?
John's input as well. To me, what I think, if you, the one theme that I've seen with Rufus recommendations, that most of those listings have a decent amount of reviews, and the quality of those reviews are also really good, and their listings are like, very well optimized. They have like 360 shots, they have like videos, they have images, their like bullet points are like very comprehensive. They're using like brand story. Pretty much, if you're doing the fundamentals correct, you don't need to worry too much about those software or things to pick up your listing. I think they will pick up if you are just heading in the right direction. But if there's minor tweaks, like John and I mentioned on this call, if you just do that, that will help. But I don't think there's a quick hack to get it, like, to get your listings like recommended like right away. But I would love to get John's feedback on this.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Chad? Good to see you. Yeah, I think one answer is there's a strong comparison between ChatGPT and Rufus. So if you're optimizing for Rufus on Amazon, most likely, this is exactly what ChatGPT is looking for in listings. So that's number one. Number two, there is, outside of Amazon, there is specific ways that you should be optimizing your content, specifically for ChatGPT search, which is, a couple of weeks ago, ChatGPT launched its own search function, and how do you actually get ranking for that? I don't have the answer on this call for you, but our SEO specialist has been spending a lot of time looking at how to rank our Zonguru specifically for different use cases on ChatGPT and getting success. So there's definitely a different way to do it there versus just typical search on Google. Maybe we have a follow-up session with that. I can put you in touch with our SEO person, and they can let you know. But there is some secret sauce there because we're getting some success there. There's an opportunity, but I'm not a technical dude like he is, so I'll have to get you to touch base with him.
Yeah, I would like to add something. My personal experience with, I was on a sales call, I think 2 weeks ago, and I asked the guy, I was like, "Hey, how did you hear about us?" He's like, "Oh, I saw you guys, you guys were recommended through ChatGPT." He was looking for like Amazon Creative Agency, and he's like, okay, there were like two companies. One was AMZ One Step, and the second was Kenji ROI. And fun fact, I own both of them, Kenji ROI and AMZ One Step, and I've never hired a specialist for ChatGPT to get my product recommended there. So yeah, I mean, like, like what John mentioned, I think it just makes perfect sense. But if you don't have those quick hacks, just continue doing what you're doing. Make sure your product is good. You're creating content for the right buyer. I think this is, the systems will pick it up as well. So just wanted to share my experience, from previous 2 weeks.
And the last thing I'd say there is I think the real value of a product or service comes out in ChatGPT, because I think there is a lot of community aspect, Reddit, etc., that the AI is learning on, and so if there is communication in there and positive sentiment, ultimately you can get a better recommendation on ChatGPT, right? So the same thing goes for your Amazon listings, reviews, Q&A, those are also critical pieces. So at the end of the day, if you've got a great product and you're doing the right things and you're providing a great service, you're going to get better recommendation on those platforms, right?
Amazing. And chat says, great, thanks. I will follow up with you. So, all right. Thank you very much, Kamal and John. It was a pleasure to have you here in our virtual summit, SellerFest Online. And one more time, I wanted you to introduce your companies and explain how Amazon sellers can get help from your team and what you do and your expertise. So Kamal, you can go first. I will also show the page again. Okay, it's here. Yeah, so you have a
Yeah.
lot of services, right?
Yeah, so it's mainly through the for the creatives of your Amazon listing, whether it's a product photography, videos, 3D rendering, A plus content, premium A plus content, videos. Yeah, we basically help Amazon sellers increase their sales by doing minor tweaks or like big revamps through their listing. That's one thing. Or if you're launching a new product, you need listing built out. We can help you out with that. So yeah, that's basically what we do. We've been doing this for like many years now. So, and we're in the process of optimizing our website as well. So you will see some new stuff very soon. And if
And
you want
if
to follow us, you can just search for AMZ One Step, like Google, YouTube, or Instagram, Facebook. You can connect us with their Instagram, or if you want to email info@amzonestep.com, is the perfect place to visit.
and yeah, you can search also a YouTube channel of Orange Click. We have several videos with Kamal, and it's always great content. Sometimes nice kind of hacks, visual hacks you can apply in your Amazon listing, which Kamal is sharing in our videos. So thank you, Kamal. And now let's talk about Zonguru. It's a suite with 18 tools, right? You said.
That's right. Yeah. So we have over 18 tools and a bunch of reports on top of that that can help you depending on whatever kind of customer you are, whether you're just starting or selling or an agency. And our main focus is really around your organic rank and helping you to optimize your storefronts, listings, and then reporting on that, getting notifications, and looking at your profitability, tracking sessions, conversion rates, etc. So jump in. We have a free trial and you can test your listings at least. And in terms of getting hold of us, I gave 3 links at the end of my presentation. So you can either contact us as a seller or as an agency, or if you're a larger seller and you're wanting to look at the services aspect as well, you can do that as well.
And what is this free growth audit? Can anyone get this? What do you?
Yeah, that's actually the qualification one. So if you're doing at least $2 million plus on Amazon, or if you're doing 2 million on other channels, connect with us and we can run that growth audit for you, help show you what your true potential is, and then obviously how to get there. And certainly if you're stuck and you're looking for how to really spike the algorithm and get that flywheel on Amazon going, we can look at that for you and just do a diagnostic on that, and help you kind of, if you're plateauing at 2 million, 3 million, or 10 million in sales, this will help you to kind of break through and get the next level of growth.
And I see a new logo, Tillstar. What does it mean?
That's the services part of the business. Yeah. So
it's part of your company.
It is. Yeah. So it's a subdivision outside of just the technology. If you want our team to really focus on helping you with organic rank, you can connect with the Tillstar.
Cool. Yeah. I thought I'm showing the page with a free audit, but now I see I wasn't showing. So now this is where I saw the Tillstar. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Great. Thank you very much, both of you, and see you next time.
Thank you. Good luck.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
And now I would like to invite you to watch other video which will help you to understand how you can even more optimize your product listings for Rufus, which we talked now, and also Cosmo, which is a common sense search algorithm created by Amazon, and they're using this in the backend of the search. So check this out.